Got to start on another Star Trek almost immediately after Lower Decks last week. Yeah, a couple days, Halloween, and go to the Starship location, Star Trek Chimera channel, 82405, and watch 2 brand new episodes of Starship Locations Strange Worlds. 2 brand new episodes. We have the Halloween, sort of Halloween special, Cinematic Vitriol, and we have the next episode, Pitch of Valarian. 2 episodes. 2 episodes. Get two this month as we approach Halloween. So enjoy those over on the other channel, on the Starship Chimera channel, the Starship Locations channel. Now back on over to Paramount Plus and Nickelodeon, and the return of all that and all that. Yes, and yeah, they're bringing it back. Keenan and Kel. I actually met Kel at a convention a couple of years ago. The Good Burger guy. Yeah. So there's still a poster over there. I think it's gone. But anyway, yeah. So this is actually a review of Star Trek Prodigy, Lost and Found. I have seen it. I'm going to reveal Star Trek Prodigy's pilot. Spoilers, I guess. I don't. Star Trek Prodigy is an animated Nickelodeon show. Eugene Roddenberry and Kurtzman, and well, you can take it or leave it with Kurtzman, I guess. A number of other people, like Kasten's thrown in there. Michael Guccuccio's in there. We have it's a kids show version of Star Trek. It's basically Silly Trek, the Starship Locations, but in a different year, in 2383, in the Delta Quadrant. For some reason, there's a Medusan out there. The Delta Quadrant, a Medusan child. There's a scrappy rebel, kind of like a type guy. There's a rock creature. There's a sort of a Kismet, sort of melty slug guy, kind of like the one from the Orville, but different enough. He's not except that he's a slug. He's different. He doesn't act like the sassy slug guy, because that's another character. That's the girl rebel character who on this planet. They're on a mining planet. It's mining something like dilithium, and it's a dilithium mine planet. It probably ties into the other stuff. Later on, years later, in the 32nd century, it probably ties into that. But yeah, but currently, back in the past, in 2383, by the current recording of the Starship calendar of TNG, we would be in the year 2500, roughly 2499, somewhere around there, because of the way Cillian space works. So in Starship Locations Strange Worlds, it is 2402, so it's 2 years from now. Just because of Picard Season 2, which we know a little bit about, we can't cross our Star Trek Picard 2. So yeah, we can't do that. So we jumped ahead a year to do that. But technically, it's still 2399. Anyway, so or 2500. If you want to be accurate about it. But we're going back to Star Trek Prodigy. In the Star Trek Prodigy, there's a starship called the Protostar trapped under the mines that they're looking for. The bad guys appear to be Borg-like, but clearly a nod to Beast Wars, Transformers, and Beast Machines. So they're Transformers, basically, which is interesting. They're droids as well from Star Wars, so there's a lot of Star Wars Rebels angles in there. It's as if the Transformers and Star Trek got together and did a series, which is why we didn't do it, because we knew they were going to do something like that. They're kind of Transformers. They're kind of Decepticons. They're running the base. Decepticon droids running a base. And the father guy is evil, and the father guy, the girl's father guy is evil, and he wants to get his ship back. We're not sure how that happened. I guess she's supposed to be a translator person, kind of like Ray crossed with the Linda Park's character from Enterprise. They use the Universal Translator. The kids get aboard the ship. They use the Universal Translator. The Rock character saves the little purple kid's life, but when they get to the translator, the twist is that this giant hulking rock thing is actually an adolescent kid, a girl, and she's all like, and she's like, oh yeah, little girl, and it was like, wait a second, okay, yeah, I kind of see that coming though. It was a pink rock, but oh well. Also, our theme song is kind of similar to theirs. So we have they get aboard the Starfleet ship, and there's no protocols, no crew. We don't know what happened to them. It's a protostar. As nacelles that look similar to those in the Abrams verse. So is it sort of a... Are we following that this is an Abrams verse ship, even though Janeway is Janeway? The translator comm badge looks different. Looks like a Cillian comm badge a little bit. I'm going to guess that it's sort of an alternate universe where other events are happening. It's probably not connected to Lower Decks, which takes place in 2380, 2381, only 2 years earlier. When did all this stuff get there? We don't know. On the Transformer planet. Is it a time warped ship that came out of time or something? Future. They probably won't explain that. It's a kid show. There were a lot of kiddie commercials. Paw Patrol and a remake of Blue's Clues and that kind of thing. But, and all that. And, yeah. With Keenan and Kel back together again. Yay! But yes, the story, so we have, and some superhero one. Yeah, it's actually kind of dark, but I like that. That's cool. The action thing goes along, and the gags in it work. The puberty, so all of the preview stuff kind of gives you a hint of what's going on. And that works. It does seem like Star Wars Rebels. But that's fine, I guess. I've only seen about a season of that before Disney took it over. I have seen The Mandalorian though. It's kind of got some Mandalorian vibes to it too. So basically, and it's a little like the Gamel fan script, but it's not him. Somebody else did this one. Not us. We're closer to Lower Decks than this one is. If this one finds a Stargate that goes, then it'll be Gamel. See, yeah. So, but it's a fixer-upper ship that's discovered. That's like Mike Stolowska's script, and that would be funny too. And so, but no, it's probably not. There's some similarities with the two episodes that are up now. The Starship Strange Worlds site right now to Prodigy and to the previous one. Your crew goes down to the planet and investigates some strange thing that's going on. This one's a lot more action oriented. So if you like action oriented stuff going on, Indiana Jones type minecart chase thing, flying through the mine chase thing, similar to Indiana Jones, and also to Star Wars, Clone Wars, and some of the prequels. Also, Transformer-like bad guy that has a face that looks like something out of Beast Machines, with a little bit of Lovecraftian stuff going on there. Blender parts everywhere. Of course, since it's a kid show, they can't actually kill them, but they totally would, really. So... And having it be a crew of alien creatures we haven't met. Medusan, there was one in the classic Trek that's on there that they're after. Having it do that, it makes it different enough that it works. The pilot works actually better than the pilot for Lower Decks worked. They tried to make it make sense linearly, come to a cohesive arc. At which point hologram Janeway shows up at the end. They blast through the bottom of the ship and escape. Sort of like in Star Trek Beyond. There's a lot of Star Trek Beyond elements. The part where he's going to use the pew-pew to fire the phasers and the little slug guy figures out where the phasers are. And they use them. That actually works in the story because he's a kid, the Tellarite kid. I don't know what he's doing there. I imagine some of these people were from the crew that got trapped, and they're like their descendants. So if it's 2383, how did they get there? I'd like to know that, because it's more than 3 years for the gestation period of a triller, right? So what's going on? Yeah. So, probably something to do with the father guy. Maybe he was the captain and he took the thing or something. I don't know. But Jamie shows up at the end. Yeah. The only caveat. It's fine the way it is. The only caveat I would have done, I probably would have put the title credits in right after the teaser, just to have them in there instead of at the very end, because that's awkward. And to have them at the end too, end credits. Just do Star Trek title credits. But I guess for kids' sake, they're watching it. They're going to be watching a two-parter. It's a two-part episode. It's all there. They're going to have to be watching it, and they want to get to right into the story. Star Trek Prodigy. Boom. There. Story. Is she Prodigy or Progeny? It was probably supposed to be called Star Trek Progeny, but then they thought that was kind of stupid. So they changed it to Prodigy. Protostar from the Janeway thing. I would have said it later. I would have said it in 2399, so that it could be left later on, so that it sets up. But, oh. And they would have discovered the saucer section on the planet, revived it. Similar idea here, yeah. Except in this one, they actually make the ship work and fly off because it's a kid show. In Pitch at Valerian, one of my fan films, that just it's coming out, downloading now on the website. The fan film, they find the Enterprise D saucer, and they go down there, and they find some interesting alien critters, and some Cillians that have want to pitch their Star Trek story. So, like Red Letter Media when they were doing Star Trek Galaxy. That's what it is. The other one is Critical Vitriol, which is a story about... that one's about a blog, a Reddit blog, about a failed attempt to obliterate a YouTube channel that failed. And it was spacey and weird enough that decided, you can make a Star Trek story out of this, a Star Trek parody story out of this. So one is a Halloween story about this blog that's going to be taken out by the Q Junior, and the other one is about a spaceship thing on the planet with two Cillians that have similar Q powers. Ooh, well, when the other one has a cameo by Kirk figure, so we won't see what he does. But so all the fans that wanted them to go back to Viridian 3 and recover Captain Kirk, this story does that. So at one point there's a version of him down there. So we'll see how that works in that other story. But not in Prodigy. You have to see it on her fan film. They happened to do these fan films the very same day that the other one aired. These two episodes were coming out. As a coincidence, we were released them on Halloween night, but we figured saving it for Halloween night, and then Halloween would be over, and the thrill would be gone. So right now on the 28th, we get the Halloween special and the other story on the other channel, and the Chimera channel. You can watch that. And it does work. It does work. Cute messing with space and time and messing with the blog. It totally works as a Halloween story. A space creepy station story with creepy space station / TV station / YouTube blog thing. Yeah. And that was my rambly review of Star Trek Progeny Lost and Found. So, yeah, another Star Trek almost immediately. Literally almost immediately. Like, there was one last week. Yeah, so, Star Trek Progeny. I'm surprised with a title like that it didn't have Wesley Crusher somewhere in there. Or does it? Ours does. There's a scene by Wesley Crusher. Yes.